Welcome back, gamers! Today we're diving into the wild world of Fruit Reborn, where 17 incredible fruits take center stage. These aren't just your average fruits from the grocery store. They're packed with powerful abilities that can completely change how you play the game. Whether you're looking for jaw-dropping AoE attacks, insane buffs to your HP and attack stats, or just the bragging rights of owning one of these rare beauties, we've got you covered. In this video, we'll be ranking every single fruit in Fruit Reborn. From their unique skills and game-changing powers to their drop chances and what makes them stand out or fall flat, we'll break it all down. So whether you're a seasoned player or just starting out and wondering which fruit to chase, stick around and let's uncover the ultimate fruit tier list together. I'm quickly moving on to the video, and I'm ranking fruits in Fruit Reborn. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching. The fruits in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, air fruit, water fruit, and barrier fruit. Alright, let's talk about the bottom of the barrel, the fruits you'd only pick if you were stranded on a desert island with nothing else in sight. The dreaded D-tier fruits of Fruit Reborn. These are the sad, soggy sandwiches of the fruit world, something to munch on in absolute desperation. But they're never going to hit the spot. Let's break down why these are the ones you should avoid unless you're completely out of options. First up, we've got the air fruit. You'd think a fruit with air in its name would have some kind of flow, right? Wrong. It's got about as much flow as a deflated balloon. Sure, it boosts your HP and attack by 6.45%, which sounds okay-ish, but then you realize the abilities are as underwhelming as a lukewarm cup of tea. Hurricane? It's just a knockoff version of White Wind from the smoke fruit, which is already not great. The second worst rare fruit? Yeah, that's air fruit in a nutshell. Now let's dive, or maybe splash, into the water fruit. Honestly, this one feels like the developers just wanted to troll us. Boosting HP and attack by 6% is fine, but when your best ability is Water Wave, which is more about looking flashy than doing actual damage, ouch! It's good for pushing enemies away, I guess, but you'll quickly realize that pushing isn't winning. This is the worst rare fruit, and it wears that title proudly. And finally, we have the barrier fruit, the ultimate betrayal of every newbie player who thought it looked cool. I mean, a 6.20% boost to HP and attack is standard starter fruit fare, but those abilities? Collision and Smash sound like they'd pack a punch, but they hit with all the force of a wet noodle. If you're stuck with this as your first fruit, don't get too attached. It's the worst starter fruit for a reason. So there you have it, the D-tier fruits. They're like the awkward, underperforming cousins at the family reunion. Good to have around in case of emergencies, but you're not exactly inviting them to the VIP table. If you're rocking any of these fruits, keep grinding and trade up as soon as you can. Trust me, your gameplay experience will thank you. The fruits in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, light fruit, flame fruit, and smoke fruit. Oh, let's talk about those fruits that make you go, not bad, but definitely not my first pick. Yup, we're diving into the C-tier fruits in Fruit Reborn. These are like the trusty sidekicks of the early game, easy to snag from the fruit summon NPC and solid for beginners, but don't expect them to carry you into late game glory. Let's break them down. First up, we've got the light fruit. It's flashy, literally. With its epic rarity, a 6.75% pull rate, it boosts your HP and attack by 10.2%, which isn't too shabby for a C-tier fruit. Plus, it comes with the Marakumo attack, delivering a flurry of slashes fast enough to make your enemies question their choices. And when you hit them with the Jewel of 8 Shaku, they'll really feel it. It's like Marakumo went to the gym and got ripped. The downside? It's all melee, baby. So if you like keeping your distance, this one's gonna keep you up close and personal. Now let's talk about Flame Fruit, the rare one with a 16% drop rate. It's like the friend who's pretty good at a lot of things but just doesn't wow you. You get a 9% HP and attack boost, and the fire gun ability spits out flames like it's trying to put on a fireworks show. Its Blaze Net is the MVP here, giving you a big AoE attack that's super satisfying to land. But then you hit the ultimate ability, Unknown Fire, and yeah, it's kind of a letdown. Imagine hyping up a finale and getting sparklers instead of fireworks. Finally, the humble Smoke Fruit. Normal rarity, 75% pull rate, and honestly, not too bad for starters. It's your go-to if you're just starting out, with a modest 5.70% boost to HP and attack. The real game changer? White Wind at level 30. This AoE attack packs a punch and will actually make you feel like you're doing something. But before you get there, the basic attacks are Well, let's just say they're about as exciting as lukewarm coffee. So there you have it, C-tier fruits. Perfect for the early grind, but don't get too attached. Keep hustling for those higher tier fruits, and you'll leave these in the dust before you know it. The fruits in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, sand fruit, thunder fruit, ice fruit, dark fruit, and bomb fruit. Let's talk about those fruits that sit right in the sweet spot. Not too overpowered, but definitely good enough to hold their own. These B-tier fruits in Fruit Reborn are your reliable middle ground when you're gearing up to take on tougher battles. They may not blow your mind, but they'll keep you alive and kicking while you hunt for that game-changing S-tier drop. Trust me, you'll want at least one of these in your arsenal before facing stronger enemies. Let's dive into the lineup. First up, the sand fruit. Don't let the name fool you. This fruit's got some grit. It gives you a solid 10.40% boost to both HP and attack, which is a nice foundation for any fight. What really shines, though, are its abilities. The Desert Sunflower delivers extended damage to a single target, while Erosion Cycle unleashes an AoE attack that packs some serious range. The downside? Basic attacks are as dry as the desert itself, pretty much useless. But hey, you're not here for the basics, right? Moving on to the Thunder Fruit, which is as electrifying as it sounds. With a 2% drop rate, it's a legendary rarity for a reason. This fruit cranks your HP and attack up by an impressive 25.5%, and its abilities are a storm of devastation. Lightning Strom, yes, with an O, feels like an ultimate on its own, while Heavy Thunder rains down chaos in a wide area. The only catch? Its basic attacks won't leave much of a spark. But who needs basics when your ultimate turns the battlefield into a light show? Now, let's cool things down with the Ice Fruit. This epic fruit boosts HP and attack by 10.20% and brings some crowd control magic to the table. Ice Time and Ice Time Shoot freeze enemies solid with effective AoEs, and Glacier stops a row of enemies in their tracks before exploding for added chaos. The only letdown, its damage output doesn't quite scream epic. Still, if you're all about locking enemies in place, this fruit has you covered. Next, we've got the Dark Fruit, another legendary option with a 2% drop rate. What sets this one apart are its excellent basic attacks, like Black Ball, which are surprisingly strong. Its Black Hole Path ability not only deals damage, but also messes with the enemy's vision, a sneaky advantage. Unfortunately, the ultimate Black Hole AoE is a bit too short, even though its range is decent. If you like strategy and disruption, Dark Fruit might just be your jam. Finally, let's give a shout out to the Bomb Fruit, the underdog of the bunch. It's a normal fruit with a 75% drop rate, but don't underestimate it. It's the perfect starter fruit, boosting HP and attack by 630%. The landmine bombs and rocket bomb abilities are absolute lifesavers, especially when you're surrounded. Sure, its damage can feel underwhelming at higher levels, but for a fruit this common, it punches well above its weight. A true MVP for beginners. So, there you have it. Our B-tier fruits, each bringing something unique to the table. These aren't the flashy headliners, but they're dependable, versatile, and great stepping stones for your journey. Let me know in the comments which one you're rocking right now, or if you've got your eyes on something higher up the tier list. Keep grinding, and may the fruits be ever in your favor. The fruits in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Ice Fruit V2 and Thunder Fruit V2. Alright, let's dive right into some of the fruits in Fruit Reborn that fall into the A tier, which means they're pretty solid, but not quite top dog. These fruits definitely pack a punch, but they're not quite at the legendary S-tier level. Still, if you've got one of these, you're gonna be a force to reckon with. First up, we've got the Ice Fruit V2, a mythical rarity with a 0.25% drop rate. Now, this one's a game changer in its own right. The moment you equip this, your HP and attack get a solid 36.30% boost, so you're already looking pretty tough. But the real fun begins when you start using those AoE attacks. The Ice Star ability creates this massive wave of tiny icicles that hits all enemies around you, seriously satisfying to watch. And if that wasn't enough, Ice Age takes it to the next level by creating an area that pulses with huge damage. It's a stunning combo, especially since both AoE attacks last a while, so you get to enjoy the chaos for a bit longer. Next, let's talk about the Thunder Fruit V2, another mythical rarity with a 0.25% drop rate. This one's a bit more of a hit-and-run style. While it boosts your HP and attack by 18%, it really shines with its abilities. Thunder Welcome is like sending an electric storm through your enemies. It sends out electric shocks that bounce off and hit multiple foes. But that's not all. The ultimate ability, God's Judgment, is a huge electric AoE attack that zaps all enemies within range, dishing out some serious damage. And to top it all off, you get an equipped spear weapon that hits for free with no cooldown. The catch? It's a melee-only weapon, but that's not stopping you from zapping your enemies to oblivion in close quarters. These fruits are definitely strong contenders, no doubt about it. While they don't offer the insane buffs or abilities of the S tier, they're more than capable of holding their own in battles. If you're lucky enough to land one of these, you're looking at some serious power boosts and control over your surroundings. Plus, who doesn't want to unleash an electric storm or freeze everything in sight? That's a game-winning combo right there. In the end, both of these fruits offer unique playstyles. Whether you prefer the raw power of ice or the fast, shocking nature of thunder, you can't go wrong with either. So, what do you think? Would you choose the Ice Fruit V2 for its AoE freezing abilities, or the Thunder Fruit V2 for those crazy electric strikes? Let me know in the comments. The fruits in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Curse Fruit, Six Eyes Fruit, Dark Fruit V2, and Flame Fruit V2. Alright, let's dive right into some of the absolute powerhouse fruits in Fruit Reborn. We're talking about the rarest and most OP fruits that can seriously change the game for you. These aren't just fruits, they're like a cheat code in fruit form, and if you manage to get one of these, you're basically set to dominate. First up, we've got the Curse Fruit, which honestly sounds as intense as it is. This is a mythical fruit, which means it's crazy rare, coming in at a 0.25% drop rate. But if you do get your hands on it, your basic attack turns into a fire orb that can hit a single target with a ton of force. And get this, your open attack has the longest range of any fruit in the game. It's like you're taking shots from across the map. Then there's the Dismantle AoE, where you summon massive red slashes that hit all enemies, even in the air. But wait, there's more. Raging Sun sends fire arrows raining down from the sky. It's a little slow, but trust me, it packs a punch. And to top it off, you've got Shadow Domain, an ultimate skill that's like Dismantle AoE, but on steroids, wider range, longer duration, and absolute chaos for your enemies. Next, let's talk about the Six Eyes Fruit. If you've played Fruit Reborn for a while, you know this one's a beast. Another mythical fruit at a 0.25% drop rate, the Six Eyes Fruit turns your attacks into pure destruction. The blue attack sends a massive orb flying through enemies, cutting down anything in its path. The red attack triggers a huge explosion at a distance, and then, just when you think you've seen it all, the purple attack combines both blue and red for a massive final explosion. But the cherry on top is the Void Domain, the ultimate skill that clears out the battlefield with an insane range, dealing damage to all enemies in sight. If you get this one, you're basically the final boss of Fruit Reborn. Then, there's the Dark Fruit V2, which is the fruit you want if you're all about stacking up your stats. It boosts both your HP and attack by a solid 33%, so you're going to be tanking and dealing damage like a pro. The Dark Hole ability is a nightmare for enemies because it creates a massive vortex that sucks them all in, making them easy targets for whatever you throw next. The Dark Liberation is a series of devastating AoEs, finishing off with explosions that cover the widest area in the game. And let's not forget the Dark Star, where you summon a dark meteor that hits like a truck, dealing some of the highest damage possible. This fruit is perfect for those who want to be an unstoppable force on the battlefield. And last but definitely not least, we've got the Flame Fruit V2. Now, this legendary fruit, though not as rare as the mythical ones, still packs a punch. It boosts your HP and attack by 26%, which is no joke. The Heat Haze basic attack is lightning fast, allowing you to dish out damage in quick bursts. But the real fun starts with Fire Daruma, where you summon a volley of meteors raining down on your foes. If that wasn't enough, the Fire Pillar attack sends 3 gigantic fire bolts in a row, causing havoc. And if you really want to leave your enemies in flames, the Flame Emperor is a massive AoE that slams a gigantic meteor on top of everyone, burning everything in sight. If you get this one, it's time to watch the world burn. These fruits are the real deal. And while they're not easy to come by, if you manage to get your hands on them, you're basically invincible. Whether you want to rain fire from above, summon a massive black hole, or rain down meteors like it's the apocalypse, these fruits will turn you into a force to be reckoned with in Fruit Reborn. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.